Lord Windgrace versus Karlov of the Ghost Council. Really good Voltron commander this. In fact, yeah, that reminds me. During this recording session, I'll actually have to get another game going with Karlov. Now then, we've got Farseek on turn 2, Assassin's Trophy if we need it, Crucible of Worlds with a fetch in hand is really good. Yeah, I can't say I mind that. That's Phyrexian Arena as well. I think we just have to get down the Bajuka Bog to get the tap land out of the way. I'm not sure how much Graveyard Shenanigan a Karlov deck is going to have. Karlov of the Ghost Council is a 2/2 Orzhov commander. Whenever you gain life, you put 2+ counters on it, and then for Orzhov, you can remove 6 counters from it to exile a creature. And Soul Warden's there, so if Karlov comes down next turn, it will enter as a 4/4. And Lord Windgrace is a 5-mana Planeswalker Jund commander. It has 5 loyalty, +2 is discard and draw. You discard a land, then you draw 2 instead. Down comes Karlov. This will enter as a 2/2, but then jump straight up to a 4/4 thanks to Soul Warden. The -3 on Lord Windgrace is going to reanimate 2 lands, and then -11, destroy up to 6 non-land permanents, and you get 6 2/2 Forest Walking Cat tokens. And Soul Warden's going to deal 1 damage to us. I think Assassin's Trophy... Problem is Assassin's Trophy just gets Karlov straight back out. We might just have to take a hit from Karlov, which means we go for Phyrexian Arena, I think, and hope that our opponent doesn't get rid of that. We'll just have to take a hit from Karlov for a turn. Hopefully he doesn't get too big. Our opponent could play something like a Lingering Souls here, which would be 2 creatures entering, and that would buff Karlov twice. But no, just going for ramp. Sun Droplet won't necessarily do anything straight away. Whenever you're dealt damage, you put that many charge counters on Sun Droplet, and at the beginning of each upkeep, you can remove a charge counter from it and gain a life. But if we don't deal damage to our opponent, then Sun Droplet isn't going to do anything there. So I'm glad we took the turn off there. We've got Gaia's Cradle, which will only do something when Sylvan Safekeeper is in play. But I think we have to go for that, unless we go for Crucible of Worlds. Yeah, Crucible of Worlds isn't terrible actually, now that I think about it. We can keep hold of the Gaia's Cradle and discard it to the Lord Windgrace. And as it stands now, our opponent can get rid of Karlov of the Ghost Council. I'm just wondering if... I think we have Song of the Dryads in the deck. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we do have Song of the Dryads in the deck. Let me just go for a land here. We'll just grab ourselves a Badlands. The plan was there to hold up Assassin's Trophy, but I'd like to get rid of Karlov more permanently. So we're going to have to take another hit from Karlov before we can deal with him. Yeah, that's definitely the card we want. Now, if they've got Artifact or Enchantment Removal in hand, they might use it on either one of these cards. We'll just have to hope that they don't hold it up for a Song of the Dryads. Assassin's Trophy is really good, but our opponent can already afford to replay Karlov. And if they make one more land drop, they'll be able to get him out an additional time, thanks to Assassin's Trophy getting our opponent a land. Okay, what is that? That is Ill-Gotten Inheritance. At the beginning of your upkeep, it deals 1 damage to each opponent and you gain a life. Okay, well at least Karlov hasn't gotten huge very quickly like he tends to. So I'm just going to go for the Arid Mesa, and we'll get ourselves into a land here. And then we'll go for the Song of the Dryads onto Karlov. And hopefully this will slow our opponent right down. We've got 4 cards in hand. And then I think we just leave it at that. Yeah, we'll regrowth and grab that demonic tutor, actually, now that I think about it. And now we just pass the turn to our opponent. Now we do still have to worry about ill-gotten inheritance. And the Soul Warden's obviously going to continue to peck away at our life total. And as soon as our opponent gets rid of the Song of the Dryads, then Karlov is going to be straight back into play, and it'll still have the plus counters on it. I don't think it'll have Summoning Sickness either, because it is under their control from the beginning of their turn. It's just not a creature, that's all. Oh, they're going for Obnixilis. That switches off our fetches. It switches off our Demonic Tutor as well. Okay, there's Scape Shift. Now, we have... I don't think we have enough lands to make that relevant, to be honest. And we can't search our library currently anyway. Yeah, I'm going to go in for Lord Windgrace and hold up Assassin's Trophy. I don't see us casting anything other than Assassin's Trophy, but I am going to just try and draw some cards here. So let's get rid of the guy's Cradle. That's doing nothing. Okay, we've got Crop Rotation. We can't do anything with that until we get rid of Obnixilis. So in that case, we'll just leave that there. How many cards do we have in hand? We can get rid of the... yeah, we'll get rid of the Mountain. We can play that from the graveyard if we want to. Obnixilis, by the way, is whenever another creature dies, put a plus counter on it. But the main thing is whenever an opponent searches their library, that player sacks a creature and loses 10 life. And it's the 10 life that we're concerned with because we are currently at 10 life. Okay, there's another drain effect from our opponent. We're really struggling to stem the bleeding here, as is often the case with these Karlov decks. Alright, let's try and encourage our opponent to tap down that high market to get rid of Obnixilis. I think if they sacrifice the Obnixilis to high market, I think they still get to go for the land. So they might as well gain a life here, unless they want to hold up the mana for something during our turn. Okay, I forgot about the other ability. I don't often see this version of Orzhova. 1 and sack a creature, exiles it and returns it to its owner's control at the beginning of the next end step. Okay, in response to the Assassin's Trophy, our opponent decided to sacrifice the Obnixilis and flicker the Orzhova. I forgot about that second ability. And they're up to 39 life. Okay, Mana Vault, that's a risky play with us not having too much life. We can draw some more cards by ditching the Reflecting Pool. Yeah, and unfortunately I don't think we have any life gain in this deck. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mountains in play, which turns on no, I forget what the name of that card is. The Valakut, I think it's called. But how relevant is that now? I think it's way too late for Valakut. Alright, yeah. Let's go for the Prismatic Omen. Prismatic Omen makes all of our lands count as mountains, or every land is every land type. So then we go in for Splendid Reclamation. That will get us 1, 2, 3, 4 lands into play. We need to Crop Rotation first to actually get the Valakut. Don't forget that. That would be ridiculous. So let's ditch the Bojuka Bog and go and get our Valakut first before we do that. And then Valakut counts as a mountain when it enters. So we will bolt the Soul Warden. We're just trying to keep our opponent from flickering that Orzhov, which they probably should do anyway. Yeah, that's unfortunate. I think that was our only out there. As it stands now, I think they're going to get back that Orzhova at the end of the turn, which means that there's nothing we can do here. We'll just have to go for the Splendid Reclamation. The Jukabog will exile our opponent's graveyard, and then we'll bolt our opponent a bunch of times here. If we had another turn, we might have been able to get something going here. We'll see what we get our opponent's life total down to. So we get them down to 24, and then if we were going to make it to next turn, which we are not, we could have gone for Scape Shift and gotten in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 lands from our graveyard straight into the battlefield. And that would have been more than enough to lightning bolt our opponent to death. Or actually, potentially not if they gain much life here. Okay, and they decide to sacrifice the Ill-Gotten Inheritance. It deals 4 damage to an opponent and you gain 4 life. So yeah, typical Karlov deck there. They're pretty fast and they can pile on damage really quickly, and we were just not fast enough for our opponent there, and they managed to get off a win on us. They had multiple means of winning there. They could have swung in with the Orzhova, or they could have dealt 4 damage to us with the Ill-Gotten Inheritance, which they went for. But yeah, what we were going to go for there was Scape Shift, along with the Prismatic Omen and the Valakut. I think we could have dealt 33 damage to our opponent, but we just weren't fast enough, and we needed an extra turn there. Hopefully you all enjoyed that. That was Lord Windgrace versus Karlov of the Ghost Council. I'm tribalkai on the EDH channel. Thank you for watching.